Hello everyone, my name is Gabby, and Dragon Ball Super has come out, so you know what I'm going to do? Here is a new, I guess it's going to be a new weekly segment. I am going to review every episode of Dragon Ball Super. Hopefully within a week, before the next episode comes out. I mean, come on, Dragon Ball Super is a new series. It might be polarizing, it might be not. People might love it, people might hate it. And, I've been doing reaction videos, and it's almost in the same vein. It's like when I look at something and then to critique it and to see my opinions and what I do think about it. And then, I can go back years later and see what I legitimately thought of Dragon Ball Super every week by week. Like, I think that's actually a really interesting thing to do. At least I think I'd find it interesting. So considering this is going to be a new segment, I'm going to sort of explain how the format of the reviews are going to go. So first of all, I'm going to give a brief summary of the episode. Not necessarily for people who haven't seen the episode. I'm assuming you've all seen the episode, but it's more for people who are like looking at these reviews later on and they don't remember which episode I'm actually reviewing. So I'll try to keep those around under 2 minutes because listening to synopses is not very interesting. And after that, I'm going to explain what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I'm looking forward to for the next episode. So without further ado, let's review the first episode. Episode Dragon Ball Super, Episode 1. Who will the 100 million Zenny Piece reward go to? The story begins 6 months after the defeat of Majin Buu, and Goku is driving a tractor. Apparently he's getting a farming job because Chi-Chi decided that after however many years he needs to actually get a job and get everyone some money. Which honestly does make sense. Goku does not normally have a job. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of subplots. We introduce Mr. Satan. Mr. Satan introduces Majin Buu to everyone. Of course, everyone has forgotten because of the wish that they used on the Dragon Balls. Gohan and Videl are there. Turns out they're going to get married, and Goten and Trunks decide to go and get a wedding gift for them. Turns out it's a bunch of spring water, which they think is going to help rejuvenate them, but it turns out it's just ordinary water. But either way, Videl just plays along with it. But meanwhile, deep in space, Beerus and Whis are at a bunch of aliens, attending a bunch of aliens and having they are cooking dinner for Beerus and Whis. And Beerus tries the dinner, he doesn't really enjoy it, he says it's too greasy, so he decides he's only going to destroy half the planet. And then Mr. Satan shows up and gives Goku a bunch of money that he won from winning essentially the equivalent of the Nobel Peace Prize for, well, not actually defeating Majin Buu because the civilians don't remember that, but for saving the world and the universe and everything like that. Goku initially doesn't want to take it, but Goten explains that if they take the money, then that means that Goku is allowed to go and train. So then Goku takes it enthusiastically. And after that, he shows Chi-Chi the money, Chi-Chi is satisfied, and then she lets Goku train. So he just teleports off to King Kai's planet. And the episode ends with Supreme Kai explaining to Elder Kai that one of the planets has been destroyed. So, what did I like about this episode? Can I just say all of it? Okay, first things first, the opening. Still not 100% sold on the song. I don't enjoy it that much, but it has definitely been growing on me, and so that's been pretty fun. I mean, it's getting to the point that now I'm starting to hum it in my head, and that is generally a very good sign. And there's a lot of interesting things in the opening, and what I did like is it did focus on like everyone. There's a lot of characters just shown in the opening, and that I think is a good sign that at least there are going to be more than 2 main characters in this show. That is Goku and Vegeta. But onto the episode itself, it was just great. Dragon Ball Super has officially gone slice of life, and it is amazing. This is the kind of stuff that I just think about in my head. Like, I just love these stupid headcanons, and just when you have just things where it's just like ordinary life. You just do things that normal people would do, just normal situations, but then you just replace everyone with Dragon Ball Z characters, and then just see how would they deal with it. So, I've got to give my future sister-in-law a wedding gift. What should I do? Oh, I know. We could get a jewelry. So then they go to a jewelry shop and check the jewelry shop. Except then the joke is, then they're just sort of flying up above, and they're just sort of looking at the rings from there. And then some of the customers just wait. Do those kids just fly? What the hell's going on? And it's amazing. This is the kind of stuff I've just wanted, and I never thought they would actually do it, and they did. And it was great. Another thing that I really enjoyed in this episode was sort of the characterization. Like, no one really felt, like, flanderized, as in, like, they didn't really exaggerate their personality traits. Like, Kid Trunks wasn't incredibly bratty. Goten wasn't incredibly innocent. Even Goku wasn't incredibly innocent and incredibly childlike. Everyone felt a lot more realistic, at least in my opinion. And no one was like, nothing really felt mean spirited. Everyone just felt like they were real people and they were just interacting and they all really, like, they all liked each other. And it wasn't just like they were being forced into things. It's the kind of thing that I think makes it better than typical Dragon Ball Z filler episodes, where the character personalities were exaggerated, sometimes just for comedy and sometimes just because they had no idea who the characters even were. As for what I didn't like about this episode, and there were things I didn't like, mostly just for a first episode, it was kind of slow and it didn't really get you into the action. The funny thing is, the first episode of Dragon Ball Z as a series did that as well, in that it was just about Kid Gohan going around the wilderness and getting lost all the time. But for a new series, you want to give some kind of hook for the first time viewers to keep watching, and this all we really got was the scene of Beerus destroying half a planet, but there wasn't really any fighting. I personally don't mind this. It's especially because I know what Dragon Ball is, and I know what Dragon Ball Super is most likely going to be, but for people who were expecting the Dragon Ball Super is going to be is going to have fights eventually, they might be a bit concerned if this is the first episode and there's no real action at all, besides Goten and Trunks versus that snake, which wasn't even such a big deal. I mean, they didn't even go Super Saiyan. Another rather minor thing, so Gohan and Videl are getting married. Aren't they still 16 at this point? If it's 6 months after Majin Buu. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, trying to work out how old Gohan is supposed to be is the hardest thing in existence because he basically has 3 ages. As for what I'm looking forward to in the next episode, it's simple. Next episode, we are going to get Vegeta and Bulma and Trunks interactions, and they're all going on a family trip together. I've got to say, I think the internet had a bit of a mini aneurysm when this was announced, because this is sort of the thing that everyone has wanted to see, since the relationship was even a thing. Bulma and Vegeta are these characters that you wouldn't think their relationship would work, but then the more you think about it, the more you realize it actually does work in its own weird, twisted way. She is a rich, spoiled scientist. He is a prince of a dying alien race with a previous history of mass murder. Somehow they got married and also produced a bastard child. How does their family even work? It is amazing. And Vegeta? Like Batman, Vegeta is the kind of character you can put in any everyday situation and he will just make it funny, just by his existence there. And unlike Batman, Vegeta's doing normal everyday things actually makes sense, because if he's going to participate in Earth society, he is going to be doing normal things, ordinary things. Things like, yes, taking out the garbage, or doing the housework, or going to parties, or just anything. And that's what makes it so good. The comedic opportunities are endless. And so that was Dragon Ball Super, Episode 1. I'm not really going to rate it because I'm not very good at rating things. I was going to say I enjoyed it. And that's pretty much all that really mattered for the first episode. So I am very excited for the next episode. And I'm even more excited for when the real plot and the real meat of this story in Dragon Ball Super actually starts. So this is Gabby, signing out. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.